All right, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight on our Diamond Dash call. Tonight, you guys, we're going to be listening to one of the phenomenal leaders on my team, Courtney Bordeaux, and she is an incredible leader on our team. Like, she totally rocks it out with her social media, and she is super confident, and she's been able to really just be herself, be confident in her post, share her journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's working, what's not working. She's awesome at getting vulnerable, and because she is herself and she's so real on social media, she's been able to really attract her tribe to her, her people to her. And, you know, we talk all the time about, you know, how important inviting behind the scenes is and doing those vital behaviors, and a huge, huge piece to actually having success with your inviting in your private messages between people is how consistent and how real you are, and the amount of value that you are adding every single day on social media. So you have to have both those pieces. And because she has both those pieces, her business has like blown up. Like, she is doing amazing. So when I thought about doing this call this week, I was like, I need to have my girl Courtney on because she's amazing at social media. So I am going to, can you hear me, Courtney, over there? It looks like it's frozen, or is it me? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to turn it over to you. And thanks so much for being on. Everyone is so excited to hear from you.
All right, guys. I'm shaking. People before, but so excuse my wine glass. Calm my nerves a little bit. Okay. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about social media, rocking your social media. And I might be a little all over the place, but that's just kind of how my mind works. If you ever look at my social media posts, you can see that. So let me start off by sharing my story with you guys, just showing you kind of where I'm coming from. I've been a coach. It'll be 2 years in October. I am, oh, is someone unmuted?
My sister.
Can we mute? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So I'll be a coach 2 years in October. So I'm married. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 little boys, Cam and Cole. They're 4, and Cole will be 2 on Sunday. Prior to being a coach, I was a graphic designer. I did marketing. I did graphic design ever since college. And I've always jumped from company to company to company. My criteria in finding a job always was, it had to be a short commute from my house, like less than 20 minutes. I had to be able to wear whatever the hell I wanted. Flip-flops, like I had to be able to wear flip-flops. And excuse me, you guys, if I swear, because I just do. So don't let your children listen. So it had flexible, it had to be casual, it had to be super laid back. I never cared what the job was. I always cared about the environment and the fact, and looking for kind of like some freedom and being able to just be me. I could never dress up. I can't do the heels like I couldn't do corporate. And so that was always my criteria in finding jobs. I just never had these like crazy career aspirations or anything. I knew as being a graphic designer, if I wanted to really like go for it, I'd probably have to go with an agency. And I knew that if I went with an agency, it would mean, you know, work first, family second. It's just killer hours. And there's no balance. I was always looking for that balance. And so I was working for a small company for, I think, a little over 2 years doing graphic design. It was a pretty good gig. And then I was 9 months pregnant in the March of 2015, and they laid me off. 9 months pregnant because they didn't want to pay my maternity leave. He had stupidly told me he would pay me a full 6 weeks, full pay, and he didn't have the money to do it, so he laid me off. So I was, 9 months pregnant. Like, what the hell am I going to do now? No one's going to hire me. Just freaking out. And a week and a half later, I ended up having my son Cole early, a couple weeks early. And it was amazing, like natural childbirth. That was like on top of the world. He was born in like 20 minutes. Like, it was crazy. And then He was this tiny little peanut, and he had this big old belly. And as soon as he came out, I was like, "Ooh, something's not right." My mother's intuition, like intuition is always right, you guys, and it doesn't lie. And I knew something wasn't right, but the doctors were telling me he was fine. He seemed fine. He was super chill. Like, but he just had this big belly. He just looked weird. And so 24 hours later, and he's just kind of chilling. Nurses kept checking him. Everyone kept being like, "Oh, does anyone look at his belly?" And we're like, yeah, the doctor's fine. And then there was one nurse who was like, "No, something's not right." They ended up taking him to do an x-ray, and finding out that something was going on. Like, he had to, we had to get him to the children's hospital like ASAP. And so, I mean, my world just dropped. I had just had a baby, and then all of a sudden he was being taken from me. He was being, hooked up to IVs. Like, a transport team was coming to take him. I was being discharged less than 24 hours. We didn't know what was wrong. They had to wait to transfer him to the other hospital. And it was crazy. And so we get there, and he goes into surgery. He didn't even have a name yet. He was baby boy Bordeaux. And so they were like, we have to open him up to see what's going on. And so ended up going awesome. Like, the surgery went well, thank God. And he had like a little bit of his intestines never formed correctly. So everything was kind of backing up. And so he was in the hospital for a month. They said it would be at least 6 to 8 weeks, and it was only a month. He was just a rock star. Like, he healed so quickly. He amazed all of his doctors. Like, nobody could believe it. But so I always feel like my story begins there, because it just realized how quickly life can turn in an instant, and you just know nothing is guaranteed. In life and pregnancy, I had this healthy, great pregnancy, and then like, shit happens. Like, you just don't know, and we go on and we live life thinking we have all in the world to do the things we want, or to live the way we want to, and you don't. So I'm laid off. My son was still in daycare, and I'm kind of just riding out my unemployment. And come October in 2015, it was running out. And so I'm freaking out. I don't want to go back to work. I hate being at a desk. I dread it. I was just feeling, blah, like postpartum, like kind of unfulfilled. Like, what do I want to do now? I saw it kind of in direction, but I was like, what can I do? I would Google work at home jobs. Everything seemed wicked shady. Like, I was just like, what am I going to do? And so, I'm on Facebook one night, and I had been stalking Kathy out for a while. She had messaged me a couple times, probably for about a year, and I always ignored her. Watching, like, what is this chick doing? Like, is this legit? How is she living this life, working from home and working out? Like, I like working out. Like, I could do that, but I was like, this isn't real. So she posted a link for a sneak peek. And so I added myself, and then watched it for another couple weeks until I think I had just like sunshine, and I was like, shit, like, do something. I don't know how I'm going to pay our bills next month. Like, we couldn't survive on a family. And so her, and I was like, all right, what is this? How does this work? And she was Kathy. she convinced me ASAP, and I signed up. I didn't even tell my husband, because I knew he was going to think it was a scam. He was going to think it wasn't legit. Oh my God, I'm sweating, you guys. I gotta take my sweatshirt off. And so I signed up, you guys, not knowing, not ever trying a program, not ever trying a shake, not having any results. I just went all in from day one. I'm just going to do this. I remember I signed up with Kathy, and I was so confused. Like, how does this work? I was like, I don't understand what a challenge group is. Like, I don't get it. And she was like, why don't you just join my challenge group, try the 21-day fix, try the shake, see what you think, so that you can talk to people. And I was like, all right. And then she's like, and if you want, I can add you to our team page, but you don't have to. And like minutes later, I was like, yes, add me to your page. Like, all right, I'm just going to do this. And so I signed you guys. I told my husband the next day. He thought I was crazy. He thought it was another one of those things I was getting into. Like, this isn't legit. I think he still thinks I'm a little crazy. Yeah, every day I'm proving him wrong. But so I went on, you guys, whatever Kathy told me to do, she told me to make this coming out post on Facebook. Now, listen, from where I'm coming from, you guys, I never posted on social media. Maybe pictures of my kids for family members to see. It's selfies. I hated pictures of myself. So this is where I came from. I was the most insecure, shy. I've dealt with anxiety since I was like 16 years old, on and off medication, dealt with depression, just low self-esteem, like just did not really like myself or even know who I was. And after having kids, it was even worse, because now I was Cam and Cole's mom and Matt's wife. Like, who am I? I had no idea. So posting on social media was completely foreign to me. Like, I knew nothing. So I just did what she told me. And I started from day one. I don't even know that I had gotten my challenge pack yet. And I posted, I just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I honestly think that the friends I did have on there were so shocked by me doing that and starting to share that I got a lot of attention. I went emerald, I think, in 2 or 3 days. I went diamond in less than 60. And I have not stopped. I have not missed a day of posting in a year and a half. No matter what is going on in my life, I post. And so that's where I'm coming from, a little bit of my background. So I'm going to share with you guys, not the standard, like, how do you post on social media? How do you take a photo? Like, none of that crap. Because we all know this. Like, you should know this. And if you don't, Google it, go on YouTube. But I'm going to kind of split it into 2 parts. I'm going to kind of just talk about how to effectively post. And then with those posts that you're doing, how to get engagement on your page so people are actually seeing what you're posting and listening to what you have to say. So, posting. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but obviously we all know it should be ingrained in you. We don't sell, we share. Don't ever put pictures of DVD covers. And trust me, I did all this in the beginning. I did. Of DVD covers of your Shakeology, even of your Shakeology cup with the Shakeology symbol. Don't put any of that, you guys, because immediate flags go up. I want to see that shit. And they're not going to listen to what you have to say. Trust me. They don't want it in their news feed. There's enough network marketers out there that are harassing people and bombarding people with all that crap. Beachbody isn't about that, and you don't need to be one of those people. You can do it a different way. So don't do that. Even in your posts, you guys, don't. It's like Beachbody lingo, like I'm doing the 21-day fix, and do 25, I'm drinking Shakeology. There's ways to do it without using all those terms, because nobody knows what that means. You can, unless you're telling a story with it and kind of explaining it, you can say my at-home workout program, my superfood shake. I'm doing a 3-week program in my living room, cardio and weights. Like, you could talk about it without saying the product names, because you want people to follow you long enough so they can trust you to actually hear what you have to say. You don't want to like scare them off with spamming them or making them think that you're really just trying to sell them something. So just try to avoid that a little bit. So how I use my social media. So listen, I have 2 toddlers right now. I have a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old that are busy. Like, they do not give me a break at work. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. So people think I have all the time in the world to build my business. I think I could build my business quicker and better if I had a full-time job, especially if it was like my old one, because no one was really paying attention to what I was doing. I could have been on the computer all day talking to people. And now it's like, the second my phone comes out, they want to use it for their apps, so I have to hide it, or I down and they're on top of me, every 2 seconds, get me a snack, do this. So it's very hard. So I've really tried to create my social media to do some of the work for me right now, while life is kind of hard, to be building a business with these 2 toddlers. I'm not a night person. I know Kathy is like, this girl thrives at night after her kids go to bed. I can't, my brain is fried. So I get what I can done during nap time. I do a little bit when they go to bed. But I allow my social media to do the work for me. And so every month, because I'm consistent every single day, I now have people coming to me, and I hit Success Club pretty easily, pretty quickly at the beginning of the month, so that I don't have to worry about it. So, you know, you want your photos to be bright, you want attention, you want to stop that scroll so people take a minute to look at your photo and then read what you have to say. I use 3 apps. I figured I'd just share with you guys what I always use. I use Snapseed is an awesome one. I don't know if it's Vasco. That's the one I've been using lately. And Airbrush. I use one filter so that my social media look is consistent, so that people might know it's me before they even really look at the photo, because I've got this look, you know, to my photographs. And so just bright and clear, you guys, the brighter the clear. If you have a dark, ugly photo, no one's going to read your words. They're not going to stop to read your words, and you want them to read what you have to say. So that's the thing, you know, get them to stop scrolling. So consistency is the key, you guys. I've never missed a day of posting. I post 2 to 3 times a day, every single day, no matter what's going on in my life. And that's how I have lately been hitting Success Club, with people coming to me. And so something I do want to say, because this is something I struggle with social media, you guys, it's so easy because we're surrounded by like 500,000 Beachbody coaches. And there are some incredible coaches who are incredible with their social media. You know, like their photos are awesome. They're beautiful. Their words just like flow, and you're like, damn, why can't I speak like that? And it's so easy to start comparing yourself to them and immediately get down. Like, I know when I'm starting to doubt myself, when I have those thoughts that creep in, like, fuck, like, am I ever going to really be able to do this? Like, am I ever going to move forward? Like, am I ever going to find my tribe? Like, I know it's because I'm looking too much other coaches, and I'm comparing myself, and I'm coming from back, and that I'm not enough, and that I'm not good enough because they're going faster than me, and this and this and this. So stop. Like, that will be the death of your business quick if you allow yourself to do that. It's okay to look at people for inspiration, but if you're someone like me who it turned into comparison and making you feel worse about yourself, don't do it. Unfollow those in a friends list. And to be inspired, go look at them. But otherwise, do not. Trust me. We all can be successful at this if we're consistent and we stick with it. But you're going to kill yourself if you sit there and you compare yourself to what someone else is doing. Trust me. You just don't do it. It's bad. It's bad. And I know, like, that's when I start to get down on myself, and I have to remind myself, like, nope. Let me be me. Let me be myself. And that is good enough. And it's funny. So I'm reading that book, The Gifts of Imperfection, right now. I was reading for my PD this morning, and there was a quote in it. She was saying, courage is telling your story and not being immune to criticism. Staying vulnerable is a risk that we have to take to experience connections. And so this is what I kind of want to talk about, is you have to be vulnerable on your social media. You have to be on your bad days. So even when I'm really struggling, you guys, like, I struggle with being a stay-at-home mom. It's something I always wanted, but it's hard for me. It's hard for me having these kids all over me, like 24/7. I don't know. I struggle. So if I'm having a hard day with the kids, if I'm having a fight with my husband, like, if I'm just not feeling it, the last thing you want to do is go show, let the world see you and be on social media. But you have to do it anyways. You have to share. You have to share what's going on without actually, you actually say what's happening, but you have to share anyways and allow yourself to be vulnerable and open up, because that is where the connections happen with people. Okay. So on those days that I'm not feeling good, you read my posts. Now I'm going to share a couple of my examples of posts at the end, but I talk about the funk. I call it the funk. And that's when my anxiety, my depression kick in. And it happens, a lot, and it's hard for me to post. But so I talk about it, And I talk about, and I don't come from a negative place, because we don't need to add negativity to the news, but I come at it and open about it, and then what I'm doing about it. Like, what am I doing about it? I've fallen in love with meditation and personal development and with journaling and like this crazy ass spiritual journey that I'm on, that I talk about all the time. So I relate it to that a lot, because that's what's comforting to me and that's what helps me through it. And when I do that and I allow myself to be vulnerable like that, you guys, it's insane the amount of people that reach out to me and are like, thank you, or yes, you know, I can relate to that, or this and that. I went live once a couple weeks ago, you guys. It was random. I had planned on talking about, you know, the kids were kind of being crazy, and I was talking about how on this self-care and fitness journey, there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to start, you're going to stop. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad. And somehow it went into my kids, and I started crying. Like, I just started kind of crying about like being a mom and how hard it was and how overwhelmed I was and this and that. And that live video got over, I don't know, like over 1,000 views. I had people reaching out to me for like a week after, just saying that how they could relate. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so just being vulnerable and being open like that, you guys, and allowing your true self to come through, even if it's not always pretty, honestly, I think is like the beauty of this business, and like forming those true connections with people, and like allowing your authentic self to kind of come out. So I always have my coaches and people ask me when I'm talking to people about coaching, like, how, you know, there's 500,000 coaches, like, how can I stand out from these 500,000 coaches? And there's no secret to it, you guys. There's no like secret to social media. I mean, honestly, you can stand out by being yourself and not trying to emulate someone else. Like, that's how you're going to stand out, is by being your authentic self, talking like yourself, taking pictures like yourself. Like, in my pictures, I always have these goofy ass faces on. Like, I swear in all my posts. My posts are pretty random. Like, they're full of emojis that don't even make sense in the places that they're at, but they make sense to me. So I just do it anyways, you know, and I'm always cussing and I just can't give a fuck. Like, it's just, you have to be yourself. And that's how you stand out, is being you. That's your power. That's how you stand out, is just by being you and being authentic and allowing your personality to shine in every single post. So yeah. So for me, that means I'm swearing, because I have a potty mouth. Like, I swear in real life. And so when I'm writing a post, I'm going to write a post exactly how I would say it, as if I was talking to someone. And so I heard that at Summit last year, a great tip. I don't remember who said it, but oh my God, my mouth is dry. They said, read your post out loud. When you write a post, read it out loud and ask yourself, like, does this even sound like me? Would I even say that? And if you don't, then you're not being authentic. You're not being yourself, and you need to rewrite it. And so what to post about? What should you be posting about? It shouldn't be Beachbody 24/7. It shouldn't. It should be like 20% Beachbody, 80% you. Mix it up, you know, like, add value to people. Share your world, share your life. You know, like, for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, you guys. Half the time, I don't leave my house. You know what a pain in the ass it is to get a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old to go anywhere? Like, it's exhausting. So a lot of times we're not going anywhere, but I'm still posting and I'm still kind of making it, you know, like, I'm making it interesting. Like, I'm just talking about how they're driving me insane. I'm talking about the silly shit they do. I'm talking about how I weave my business into my day. I'm talking about how I get my ass up early before the rest of my house and I get my workouts in and I do my PD. I'm talking about how I survive on coffee. Like, I'm just talking about my life, and there's nothing interesting about it. There isn't, but people find it interesting, you know, like, because you develop a following. And you just share it all. But share it with a twist, like with a positive twist. You don't want to just be negative, like, because it could come off as negative, but make it funny. If you're funny, if you think you're funny, be funny. Like, just let your personality shine, and know who you are in your business. Like, know your strengths in this business. So what are we? We're motivators. We help people with their fitness, and we have these awesome nutrition plans and this awesome shake. But you can't be strong at all of that. Like for me, like I suck, you guys, at the meal plans and the nutrition. Like honestly, I just want to eat Doritos and Oreos and drink wine. I don't want to eat vegetables. Like I don't want to eat out of those containers. Like I do it. I don't do it all the time. Trust me, I don't do it all the time, but I do it. I know how to do it. I know how to help someone do it. But nutrition isn't my strong suit. It's not a passion of mine. So I don't talk about my nutrition much on my social media. I like fitness. I like my workouts because my workouts are my therapy. My workouts help with my anxiety. They've changed my life. They've changed my body. So I talk about my workouts, and I talk about PD because I'm become obsessed with PD because PD has changed my life. And I talk about community because I'm obsessed with this Beachbody community, with the friendships I've made. So those are my 3 strengths in the business. And those are what I talk about a lot on my social media. Every once in a while, I'll put a picture of my food every once in a while, or if I really nail a recipe, but I'm not on there sharing recipes and this and that, because that's just not my thing. But I am on there showing my workout every single day. I am on there talking all the time about the badass ladies in my groups and about the friendships I've made and about my success partner and about our team. Like I'm talking about that all the time because that's what I love. And so figure out your strengths in your business. You don't have to be showcasing everything. Showcase what pertains to you, what you're strong at. Okay, so that's kind of about posting. And then I wanted to just give a couple tips and talk to you guys about how to, so you're posting every day, you're being consistent. So now you need engagement on your page, because if you're not working to get engagement on your page, the same fucking 15 people are going to comment and like on every single one of your posts, and no one's going to see it. And that's not good for anyone. So how do you get engagement up on your page? You can't, I was doing this and I recently learned it's got to be more than that. You can't just like, you know, like I don't know how Facebook works. I'm not really attuned to all that stuff, but it might give you a little more traction with your followers or your friends, but you have to comment. One, you have to be adding to your network every single day, non-negotiable. I don't know, 3 to 5. I say way more than that because not all of them are going to accept your friend request. So you want maybe at least 5 actually accepting your friend request a day. So just add a shit ton of people, but don't add anyone. Add your people or who you think are your people. You'll find out really quickly if they are or not, but add them. What I do on mine is, so if someone accepts my friend request, I learned this from Raina Odell. It made me cringe to think about doing it, but I've been doing it for 4 or 5 months now, and it works. And now it doesn't make me cringe anymore. I just do it. If someone accepts my friend request, I shoot them a quick message like the next day. Hey girl, thanks so much for the ad. I saw we had some mutual friends or blah, 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 like whatever. Just wanted to say hi. 50% maybe write me back, 50 don't, but at least they're like, all right, who the hell is this chick? Why is she messaging me? And they're going to go to my page and they're going to see what I'm all about. So I do that right away. I also, if anyone accepts my friend request, I create lists every month. So like March friends, April friends in Facebook, you can create lists, and I check them and I add them to that so that I can go to that list and just see all those people and I can engage with them and I can comment. So you don't want to just like, you want to comment. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you want to comment. You want to just get your face out there, let them know who you are. Just show them that you're like a real person, you know? So comment on their pages. Lately, and I learned this from Craig Daigle, hey girl messages. Like I've been doing this. This is so easy, you guys. I just pick people. So I'm not even at 2,000 friends yet. So, I got a ways to go, but there's tons of people on there that I've never talked to or don't really talk to before. I really dialed it in with getting out of my comfort zone and just talking to people. Like for a while as a coach in the beginning, I wasn't doing any of this because I was way too scared. But I shoot these hey girl messages, okay? Because I'm all about like attracts like, and putting positive energy out there and it coming back to you. Like, this is my jam. Like, this is my shit. Like, so I'm messaging people all the time, just sending good vibes. Like, hey girl, I just wanted to send some positive vibes today. I hope you have an awesome day. Like, simple, quick. And I'll just send that to like 20 people, 10 people. If I have a couple minutes, I'll just send it to some people. Some respond, some don't, but I don't even care if they respond or not, because at least they're like, who is this chick? And then they're going to come and they're going to start following me. And I've, it's been really awesome. I've been having great conversations, forming great relationships with people. I think I've signed up a couple people just from that. I sent one on Friday to a girl. We were friends since, I don't know, like last June. We had never engaged once. I sent her this message and she wrote me back immediately. And she's like, you are all over my newsfeed. Like, who are you? And like, what are you doing? And we talked, and she just signed up with the all access pass. Like, like totally random. Like, it sounds crazy, and it probably will make you like, be like, oh, I don't want to do it. Just do it. Trust me. And do it with no expectations. So another great way to get engagement on your page is ask questions. People love to share their opinions. So this is really good if it's a day where your mind is blank and you got nothing to say, because what happens to all of us. You don't have that awesome post, that deep message, that that willing you to like share your story. So ask a question like, hey, what's your favorite appetizer? Hey, how do you like your coffee? How do you guys like your coffee? Or what's the kid show you hate the most? Like, just ask a question and you will get, 40, 50, 100 comments. People love to give their opinions, and that just makes Facebook see you as someone to recognize, and your stuff gets shown that much more. It's super simple. And then you got to go back though, you guys, when people comment and when people like on your stuff, you need to respond. You need to take the time to at least say thanks, or thanks girl, or engage with them in the comments of your posts, because that also brings you back up to on the top of the news feed. And then anyone that's liking, commenting, engaging on your posts, send them a thank you the next day, or whenever you're doing your power hour. Just, hey girl, so much the support, it means a lot to me. Like, I really appreciate the good vibes or something. Hope you're having a great day. Like, it doesn't even have to be an invite. For me, if it is like a fitness related post, or if it's one of my call to action posts and they comment or they like, I will turn it into an invite right off the bat with my thank you message. But if not, I'm just sending a thank you. And then that opens up conversation and it can lead into an invite. And so also just pay attention to when your posts are getting the most engagement. Like, I always do my call to action posts at night, usually after 9:00, and Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for me are really great nights. Fridays and Saturdays are like a total wash. I don't know for everyone, but for me on my social media, like, it's crickets. So in those days I'll post like once or twice, and usually it's just like what I'm doing with my family, but I don't add too much value because I never get engagement. So that's really all I have for you. I kind of wanted to close it with like two thoughts. One is we all have a story to share. Like, you might not think you have a story, you might not think you're that interesting, but you do. Like, I never thought I had this interesting life, you guys. Like, I had an awesome, parents are still married. I had like love, like, yeah, I dealt with anxiety and depression and that, but I'm like, who hasn't? Like, I just never thought I had anything interesting to share, some crazy background that would make people attracted to me. But it doesn't matter, because me just being me is what attracts people to me. Like, that quote, no one is you and that is your power. Like, your power is being you. So can you succeed at this business out of 500,000 coaches? Yes. If you're yourself, if you're not trying to be like that top coach, or like this person or this person or this person. And my other thought, you might all think I'm crazy, but if you do follow my social media at all, you'll see that I'm on this, like, I'm into this shit, this spiritual, like, Gabby Bernstein, that's my girl. Like, I'm really into all this stuff. And so she has this like mantra that I've learned and that I use, because there are days where I find it hard to think of what to say, or when I am playing that, that fucking comparison game, or my kids have just drained the life out of me and I cannot sit for 5 minutes and write a post. And so every morning I wake up and I meditate and I journal. And in my journal, I ask the universe or God or whoever you believe in, I ask them, Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to who? And I ask for my inner guide, for, you know, my true self to kind of just speak for me. And I swear to you, you guys, those days are those days that I come out with those freaking golden posts, is when I surrender it to the universe and I say, speak to me. Tell me what to say to serve that person that needs to hear it. And tell me what to say so that I'm speaking to them and I'm helping that person that needs to hear what I have to say. And I just let it flow, and it flows. Like, try it, trust me. That's all I really got. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to answer anything. Oh, no, wait, I'm not done. I wanted to show you guys some pictures or some examples of posts. Do I have time to do that? Kathy, I don't know where you went. All right, well, I'm just going to do it.
Actually, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, because I actually had to dial in through another line because the internet connection is really bad. So you can see me through the computer, but I actually dialed in. But yeah, go ahead and show those slides, definitely.
Okay. So I just want to show you guys a couple examples of like posts that have gotten a lot of engagement for me. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay. Let me make it bigger. I don't even know how to do that. You present. Oh. All right, I can't see you guys. That makes me nervous. I'm just going to show it like this. Okay, so these are just a couple examples. You guys can see these? Okay. All right, so this was one. So I just wanted to show you kind of how like I do things a little bit. Like for me, this is a call to action post. I don't say like, do you want to join my challenge group, or, you know, join my group, or blah, blah. I don't say that often. I usually just kind of say what I have to say, and then say like a casual, like, so what are you thinking? Like, are you ready? Are you worth it or no? And I always kind of put a phone symbol or the envelope with the heart, meaning like reach out to me. I relate it to coaching and to what these programs have done for me. I'm always telling a story of like what it's done for me. And they get a lot of engagement. When I do a before and after, it's, you know, I mean, I have a little bit of a transformation. I've lost over 20 of the programs. But for me, it's not even the physical transformation. It's what's been inside that has been like insane. And so I'll usually show the physical transformation for a transformation post, and then, but I'm always relating it to what's happened inside, because that's where the change has kind of occurred. And they get a lot of these 22 comments. It's probably not a lot for, you know, the top coaches, but for me, you know, it's a lot. On bad days, this was a really bad day. I was having like issues with my husband and my kids. And I was talking with my success partner, and I had posted, and it was like, I don't even know, maybe like 2:00. And I always post, you know, this was like that first day where I was like, I can't even post right now. And she's like, you need to post and talk about it without talking about it. And so I did. And so if you see, I just said, it's one of those days, a day where I feel like I've made a million steps forward in so many ways: my outlook, my attitude, presence, controlling my anxiety, how I interact. But old habits, old voices, old thoughts have crept back in. The shit sucks when it happens, but it happens. Learning to embrace the shadows and the light. And then just sent some love. Like, hope you guys are enjoying the gorgeous day, because it was a gorgeous day. And it got so much engagement on the post, and so many people actually reaching out to me. And I think it just shows, because it's easy to portray this, you know, especially as you have more and more success in this business, because it's incredible what it can do for your life, and to just show this amazing happiness. Like, it's all like unicorns and sparkles all the time, but life still happens, you know, like you still have shit that's happening. It's not, even if you're having crazy success, you're not going to be happy every day. Life isn't going to be glorious every day. So don't kid people that it is, you know, like be real. You have to show the shit too, because that's the shit that people relate to. This was one the other day, because I had like a hater trying to hate on me, saying that I complain about but 102 likes, a list of comments of people who kind of had my back. And I just kind of, that's when like shit flows, when you like have a purpose or whatever. I was just kind of addressing it without addressing it. And I do, people have mixed opinions about quotes and if you should use stock. I only use stock quotes when I have something to say about it. This was like a couple in Target who tried to call me out because my 2-year-old was watching a video on my phone. Again, I was fired up. So I just, that when you're fired up, that shit just flows. And so I posted it, 202 comments and 51 comments and 202 likes. So I actually am a big quotes person in my personality. I've always been drawn to quotes. I've always kept quotes throughout my house. Like I love quote books. Like I just like quotes. So for me, putting quotes every once in a while on my page is me being me because they speak to me. And I find them really powerful. So if it's something you love, then do it, because it's going to reflect you. Like, look at this one, you guys, pens. A post about pens got 118 likes and so many comments. Like, that shit got me excited because, they're pretty and I was excited. And see, people want to talk and share their opinions about pens. Like, who would think? Sharing about your kids. This was actually a moment when he was driving me insane. Like, I didn't know what to do. He was tantruming all morning and I had given up, and I stopped and I raised my hands and I asked the universe to help me out. And something happened and I busted out my wrap, which I hadn't used in like a year, and put him in it, and he fell asleep, and it was glorious. But that it got a lot of engagement. And this was like a snow day, you guys. I think it was like that blizzard when we were all going to be stuck inside with our kids. And I just said, cheers to the mamas making big pots this morning of coffee, because I'm kind of obsessed with coffee. And it got a lot of engagement. And so nothing crazy, nothing, just me being me and trying to be funny. I mean, I think I'm funny. I don't know, but I just add humor and personality to my posts. And it's really when I know that I'm just speaking from the heart and just letting it flow, and it just kind of comes to me, and I know that that's just me being me, and that's when my posts blow up the most and like get the most engagement. So I just wanted to show you guys those couple of examples. And now I actually am done. Now I'm done. So I don't know if anyone has questions.
Can you
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah. That was amazing, Courtney. You totally blew us all out of the water. Like,
I'm sweating.
Guys, this information that she shared, like, if you don't follow her on Facebook, you just follow her on Facebook. Don't copy her, obviously, but this is someone in Beachbody that, like, is going to the top. And this girl has never, ever dropped rank. So when you want to talk about becoming a diamond coach and, like, growing beyond, like, this girl's never dropped her diamond. She's a solid frickin' diamond. And on top of it, she literally hits, like, Success Club 20 plus every single month. She always gets her husband's account to Success Club 10. Last month, I think it was, like, combined, it was, like, something like that, because she's consistent with showing up, being real on social media, private messaging and inviting behind the scenes. And now because she's shown up every day on social media, she's able to hit, like, Success Club just by people coming to her from the content she's putting out there. They know that she can trust her. So I hope that you guys wrote down all the tips and stuff, just different things, like not advertising. Like, you definitely don't want to have, like she said, like the Shakeology on. You don't want to be posting Beachbody this, 21 to fix that. Whatever is going to intrigue people to come to you and ask you more questions, and then you can talk about it. Does anybody have any questions for her? I'm so proud of you. She's awesome.
Someone said, with the Hey Girl messages, when do they write back? Do you talk about Beachbody or only if they go there? Yeah, I only bring it up if they go there. Like that girl the other day immediately said, like, oh, you're all over my newsfeed. Like, what do you do? And so we immediately started talking about it, and I signed her up that day. But if they don't, so this is how I do it. If they don't go there, I don't go there. But I come back and then I go there. Like, I drop it for a day or 2 days, and then I go back and I invite. I'm not good with weaving it into the conversation. I think eventually I'll get there, but right now I'm not, and it doesn't feel natural. So if as the conversation dies, I let it die, but I pick it back up in a day or two. I don't leave them hanging. I do all my tracking and everything. I use Asana. I've been using that since November in my business, and my business has it's changed everything. Google, YouTube it, you guys. Asana for Beachbody coaches. ASAA. It's free, and you can put it on your computer. You can put it on your phone, but it's just kind of a tracking system, and that's helped me a ton. So if the conversation dies, I don't immediately invite, but I go back a day or two later and I do invite. And then someone said, can you repeat the mantra? Okay, yeah. So this is Gabby Bernstein. It's, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to who? And I say that every single morning, or I write it in my journal every single morning, especially on those mornings when I really need it. I think that was it.
One more too about, they wanted to know what the name of the apps were that you used again for your pictures. I don't know if you can type them in the chat for us. That would be good.
Yeah. It's Snapseed,
Thanks.
Vasco, and Airbrush. And pick a filter, you guys. I used to, up until, like 5 months ago, I was like, I would spend forever on filters like, oh, this one looks good. This one looks good. It's such a time suck. It's a waste of time. It's important to have clear, good photos, but you cannot spend 20, 30 minutes perfecting a photo. It does not mean that much. So find a filter or two that work for you. I found some that work in my house, kind of, I guess, with just kind of the lighting of my house. And I use the same two for every single post so that my look is consistent. And I also, I meant to grab it. It's downstairs, but Kathy, you know about this thing. It's this little light, you guys. They're like, I know they're like really expensive. Some of them are expensive, but I got it. It was $11 on Amazon. It's this little light, and you clip it on your phone, and it has like settings like bright, brighter. And because I have an old house and it's dark sometimes, I use that to brighten up my photos so that I don't have to, if it's a dreary day or I work out, pretty early in the morning, the sun's not even always up. I can put that on and it's bright and it makes my photos clear. It's so worth it. Go on Amazon. I don't even know what it's called. I can add it to the group, but it's the best $11 I've ever spent. It's so worth it.
I actually have one. I don't know if I'm going to pop up.
Yes, just like that.
What it looks like. I don't know if you can see me.
Mm-hmm.
It clips like right on your phone.
Yep.
And it's really
like $11.
Like, I don't even think it was $11, but it's really bright, so I won't turn it on right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's so worth it. It's seriously, especially if you don't have great lighting in your house. Like, I don't have great lighting. And so I would be stuck sometimes. I'd have this awesome post and no photo to go with it. And it'd be like dark. And I'm like, what the fuck what picture am I going to put up? And so, yeah, this thing helps. So yeah, that's it.
That was awesome, Courtney. Did anybody have any, we could do like one or two more questions for anybody else that has anything to ask Courtney while they have her. She is all right, guys. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for being here again, guys. Have an awesome night, and we'll see you the next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.